Alright, so this way we've gotten into Unit 3, sectioning. Well, sectioning is these views are the same as your orthographic views, your 2D views. They look pretty similar, but the only thing you have to pay attention is the section views usually show the internal, parts of the assemblies. So we use those type of drawings for section views to be able to see inside, inside of your object or model. Because we can't really use a regular orthographic or auxiliary view to see the internal features, internal parts or internal configurations of the parts. So since you have to look inside, of your model or your object, you definitely need to cut it down, So it would involve the cutting plane, which usually serves as a reference plane, of course. Sometimes depends on the model, you'll have to rotate, to be able to see your sections that you put on that model. So orientation, location, it's definitely matter. You can't just cut it down and be able to see directly on the cutting plane. So okay, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you gotta tilt it, and sometimes you have to rotate it up and down or side to side to be able to see them. Of course, you also need to know where to cut it, because the features are sometimes they're very complicated. Even though you cut, you can't be able to see or describe other features hidden in between the cut line and the original plane. So you have to figure out whatever features you're dealing with on your model. So that way you can cut and be able to see them. And when you see them, of course, we usually use different symbols and a drawing to show, hey, that is a section view, and this is the auxiliary view, and that is the orthographic projection view. Okay, so this is just an example, and here you can see your cutting plane, cut it down right there, see, and this is your object, of course, and you can see a section A. And this is the way that we do the annotation, okay, label it where we're cutting it. And of course you're rotating 30 degrees, and since you're rotating, you have a direction. We're rotating in the clockwise direction. So when you pay attention, you can see this is your circle, so since you cut it down that way and your line of sight is going in that direction, you're seeing the internal features along the reference or cutting plane right there, okay, reference plane right there. So you have this, which is this guy, and then of course this whole thing, which is this, and then of course your internal feature inside of this object. And here are our sections, section lines are right there. They're at an angle, and this is the center, Alright, this is just an example of what section views look like, and we're going to get into that more, okay, in next section. Okay, for video recording lecture, I'm just going to go ahead and combine the sectioning concept right here together, So I have to upload only one time, oh my gosh. And of course I give you 2 separate PDFs for you. So let's get into sectioning concepts. So the first thing you gotta know is your cutting plane, These are the cutting plane styles. Of course, we have 3, acceptable, I just call it lines, These are the cutting plane lines. Everybody uses a different way of describing these lines. So anyways, you can see there are 3 different, cutting planes, lines, a long dash followed by, two short dash and long, short, short, and then long, of course. This looks like the hidden, right? We use the same thing anyway for the cutting plane style, because the internal features, right? Usually described by the hidden lines like that. Of course, you also have your long and then short and then long, yeah. Similar to your hidden lines and your phantom lines and the center lines. So after we have studied the cutting plane styles, and then you have your arrowheads, and us going with a 3:1, yeah, 3:1 ratio. See the dimension of that, and this is 3x, and that's just an x. So that's about like a 0.375, okay? So that's 3/8 of the inches in length. Okay, dexinators. We have the section dexinators, so nothing but just we name the section, yeah. So sometimes we put like the A-A, sometimes B-B, and C-C. Okay, sometimes of course we use a little star like that, asterisk like that. Okay, these are just how we label our sections. Sometimes you will use a double, yeah, double like A, and then it depends on your model how big that is. Sometimes you have like a triple A or a triple B, yeah, BBB dash BBB or CCC dash CCC asterisk, like that. Of course, you won't use I, O, or Q, okay, so don't use these alphabetical characters for your section dexinator as your section dexinator. So be careful, we don't include this. The next you need to know in section view is your cross-hatching. So cross-hatching is just a repeated graphic pattern, okay? And we of course draw all the areas, yeah, of the part that's in the cut, yeah. So here, after you cut it, we got this area, yeah, and we're going to cross hatch it, bang, 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 cross hatch at an angle to the horizontal line. And so make sure that you cross hatch along your cutting plane line, yeah, all the area that got exposed to the view. So here there's a hole, yeah, but that hole is not cross-hatched. It's because it is a hole, yeah, there's no area, just go like all through, yeah, all through your object in this case, of course. So the pattern for your cross-hatching, we have like a 45, a 30, and 60 degree, okay. With the horizontal, of course, it's like about 45, and that's like a 45, but it's kind of like a very poor, look at that, yeah, doesn't really look like this is pretty good, yeah, because it is definitely at an angle. You can be able to see it's kind of if you practice it looks like a little more than 45 for me, yeah. And of course this is like definitely 90 degree, because we don't really do 90 degree for cross hatching. So therefore make sure your angle is 45, 30, or 60 degrees, yeah. Exact degrees, please. So don't use it between 45 and 30 or 30 and 30 and yes, 0, or yeah, between 45 and 60. Okay, just measure exact 45, exact 30, or exact 60 with the horizontal line, yeah, and it will give you a pretty neat cross hatching for your section views. So if you're dealing with very large areas in your model, yeah, and you need to, of course, cross-hatch your section view, make sure, yeah, you do your spacing, yeah, spacing of your cross-hatch lines right by increasing it. And we don't really cross-hatch. That's my robot. She's saying, okay, so we don't really cross-hatch the section views. So we don't really do the longitudinal sections, all right? Of course, of your spokes or spokes wheels or ribs or castings or casting and your standard hardware, yeah, your bolts, pins, screws, keys, and shafts. We don't really cross hatch. So here you can see the section view here. Look at this. We don't cross hatch. See, yeah, we do cross hatch right here. Yeah, the areas, of course. So make sure you decide which are the thin members, yeah, of your section parts. So when you look at the section parts, you're gonna decide, okay, where are the thin members of my section parts, and longitudinal section of that we don't cross hatched. So here longitudinal, 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 and longitudinal section. Alright, the next one was still on the thin components, yeah, like your gaskets, your shims. Gaskets are just your washer, and you can see a whole bunch of them in your car, yeah. So when you go to maintenance, you can ask your maintenance technician to show you some gaskets in there. Because what do we do in drawing? We just fill them in solid, yeah? Just fill them all right in solid. Alright, so section type. So we have full, half, offset, broken out. Then we have auxiliary and partial. And we have standard breaks sections. And this is just aligned sections, yeah? Also another section types, but aligned sections we have like 4 different applications of the aligned sections. So revolved, removed, revolved, in place, and we have revolved with conventional breaks and revolved features in sections. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, section types. Alright, that's it for the first 2 section of your Unit 3.